So hi guys, hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ruth Kim if you're seeing me for the first time, and we are back with another interesting video. I'm back with these beautiful, amazing single ladies. That's a DM the jar. So anyway guys, before I continue, let them introduce themselves.
Oh, okay. Hi, my name is Carol. I am currently doing an apprenticeship in nursing. And yeah, that's it. That's it about me.
So Carol, before Marianne introduce herself, how long have you been here, and tell us some things about yourself?
Okay. I've been in Germany for 3 years now. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I came through FSJ. I didn't do au pair like everyone else.
Like us?
Like them. Yeah, I came through FSJ. I did 1 year of FSJ, then I went directly into my house building.
So let me ask you something I asked Marianne on the other video. So you just did FSJ, which is volunteering,
Yeah.
and then you went straight to the hospital.
Yeah.
Nowadays they require B2 for the apprenticeship. How did you do that, or did you study German in Kenya before you got here, or how did you do it?
Yeah, I did German in Kenya till B1 level.
You guys are so good.
Yeah, because you need B1 to come with FSJ.
Uh-huh.
I did till B1, a bit of B2. Like I started B2, got my contract, left German classes and just came. Then when I got here, I did my B2 exam because I needed it for the apprenticeship. So I didn't really do a course, but I did the exam.
You studied on your own and then you did the exam.
Yeah.
So guys, if you're back at home and you're looking for ways to come to Germany and you just went to school to study A1 and then you went home and relaxed, don't do it. Don't do it. Go back to school or just study at home. Jifunze lugha bana.
Yeah.
Come here with B2 and start house building directly. Anyways, madam, who are you?
My name is Mary Ann Moingi, and I just recently completed my apprenticeship in nursing in Germany, and I have been in Germany for 4 years now.
By the way, Marianne is the fresh one. Currently, just the new one in the city, the newest nurse in town.
Okay.
By the way, me, I did my apprenticeship I finished back in 2014, so I'm a bit rusted, so that's why I need. So on this video, guys, we're going to share some of the challenges they face or they are still facing, because Carol is still doing it, that they face during the house building. I have mine as well, so let's do it. So Carol, what's one of your biggest challenge? Like,
Okay, so let me start from the beginning. As I said, I didn't really do any B2 course when I came. So my language was still at B1 level. So when I started my Ausbildung, it was really hard with the language for the first like 1 month. And then we had online classes. So let me tell you, I never used to hear anything for that month.
it was during Corona time.
Yeah, I started with online classes in Corona times. So that was a bit of a challenge, like the language. I don't know if for you that was a thing, but the language really stressed me out for the first month.
So how was it like for you? This one was Madame C too.
Hey.
The one thing that I have to tell everyone, that it's the truth, the language that you speak at home and the one that's spoken in formal settings is definitely different. Like I was there, I understand everything, but all I can say is yeah. 9, yeah, and like not so much more. It took definitely around 3 months to be able to actually express yourself. And yeah, so in as much as you might have a very high level of German acquired from the class, in implementation is definitely something else. Yeah.
So for me, back in the days, it was the same with the language. The first few lessons, I was like, are we in Korea or where are we? And by the way, it also depends with where you're doing the Ausbildung in, because mine was in like inside sides of Stuttgart and they speak Schwäbisch. So they were just Spätzle, so many things because they are used to speaking that. So for me, it was like, and how did you guys overcome it? Because for me, I think I took time, and at home I used to go through the notes to understand what was going on, because most of the time I didn't. I was just there looking at the teacher like, what did I get myself into? But it was my only paper to stay here in Germany, so I had to find a way to overcome it. How did you overcome it, you guys?
I think for me, I just got used to like hearing the way the teachers speak.
Getting to eat.
Yeah. And the first practical, I remember my first day in hospital, it was so stressful because they're telling you to go get something. You've never even heard of what that is. I remember it was Shiba. Someone told me to go get a Shiba. I was like, what's
You
that?
even better you did FSO. You have an idea of what a Shiba is.
I didn't know that
Marianne
one.
did not do FSO. So you didn't even have any idea in the practice part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But for me, the language part, especially in the practical, I got one of the things I've never heard in my life. Someone told me I don't talk. The problem was the language. It was not that I'm quiet. It's really the fact that the language did actually give me challenges for an actual 3 months. Because after 3 months, you then now start the practical, and it was raw.
Yeah.
So what was your challenge, Marianne?
I must admit, for me, I did study every day for the first 6 months of my Ausbildung, and that really pushed me. It got me acquainted to like the vocabulary that is relevant for my nursing. I had to revisit some of the things I studied in high school in anatomy, like the bones, function of the heart, and all that kind of stuff. So revisiting and spending a lot of time with books, because for me it was not that I didn't know these things, it was I needed to have it out of me, and that did take some time, but studying did also, I think it also worked for you.
Yeah. And for me, I was really lucky because I had Marianne. Like, if I come from class and I'm frustrated, I just go to her and I'm like, bro, what's this? What's this? Yeah, like, just tell me what this is. I don't know.
That's actually another challenge.
Yeah.
Being here on your own, you don't have someone to ask. At least you had Marianne. Marianne, who did you have?
I didn't actually have anyone because the Ausbildung, we are the first course to do this Ausbildung. So just as our teachers are new to this thing, was the same way we were new to this thing. But the grace of God.
Amen.
Amen.
But then another challenge that I had back then was like integrating with the Germans. How was it like for you?
That was a tricky one. I'm not sure if till now I have mastered how to actually do that, because it's hard, especially, I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but most of the time as an African, the first time people see you, they just assume you're dumb.
You're dumb or you
don't know anything.
Just there.
Yeah, so for the first few weeks, it's tricky navigating the social thing, but then after some time, like once you get to know each other, it becomes a bit easier.
And do you know one thing I always tell people? Like, they don't need you.
That's true.
Because of our language, and sometimes you need assistance. We as foreigners, we need them. So sometimes I just say, go to them.
Yeah.
You're the one with the receiving side, like Marianne said. You are the one who need help, so just go to them. Me, that's what I did. I was the only African or Auslander in the class, so I had to go to them.
Yeah,
I don't smoke, and when they go smoking, I'm just there like, hey, you have to integrate with them. You have to go to them. Was it the same thing for you, like integrating with the German?
Yeah, I think for me, one of the things that helped me the most was having her live with a German at their home as an au pair. I definitely knew what to expect with them, but I must also admit that the German culture never comes to you. It's always you going to them. Unlike our culture, where the visitor is really accepted whole and everybody is just warm about it, in this case it's the other way around. It's your effort that proves you. If you're dumb, it proves you dumb. If you're hardworking, it proves you're hardworking. So it's really the effort from your side. And the other thing that really helped me navigate through with Germans is the fact that they say their mind, and a lot of times if something is not right, they will be the first people to talk about it. So it also brought me out to be saying things that I didn't like as I was navigating through people that you've never lived with. You've lived 19 years of your life in a different country, and then now you sit with them in class and have to give the same result as they do. And so navigating was definitely difficult. Doing au pair helped me, and also taking a step back and just thinking about things twice, because you could be wrong. That definitely helped me. Yeah.
So Marianne, when it comes to the theory part during group time, sometimes for me sometimes they would form groups, like group work, And then the foreigners or some people are being left out because they assume you don't know anything. How did you guys have the same challenge?
Well, let this not go down in record as if we're speaking ill of Germans. That's not what we're trying to do in this video. Everybody is literally just subjectively talking about their experience. But I must say, I did watch your video prior to starting my Ausbildung where you talked about feeling left out until you could prove yourself. And that was also my case. It was until people realize, yeah, okay, maybe she's not stupid, or maybe whatever they think. It's just my perception of this whole situation. Until I was able to prove myself worthy enough or even being part of them, Ausgrenzung. You're definitely something else, yeah. And it is what it is, but this is not to say that we are trying to speak.
But I also
of
think
anything,
in a normal situation, you've been told to set up a group. You're going to go with someone who you think they can help that group.
That's true. It's true.
But
It is what it
another thing I've heard from my subscribers is most of the time when we have such a situation, they form a group of their own, like foreigners on their own, and it does better than the native group.
That's also true.
Yeah.
It's also true, but I feel like if you want to integrate with them, you have to actually make the effort to be the one to go to them. Because
I don't think they are going to send you away if you join their group.
They
I don't
won't.
think so. They wouldn't.
especially
like,
if
just
they already know now, they actually know you're smart. No, I don't want to say you're smart.
You're not stupid.
You know, just as long as they know you're not really going to bring down the group, like they're welcoming, but you have to be the one to go to them.
To initiate.
So
yeah.
let me ask a question for you too. How is it like doing the generalisierte Ausbildung? Was it not a challenge or was it just okay? Like being all over the place, being all over the constitutions?
For me, it's definitely been a challenge. I'm still in it, but it's definitely been a challenge, especially having to navigate the whole like you have to be social with everyone, and you have to move from station to station to station every 3 months, or some of them are even just a month long. You're somewhere for a month and then you have to move again, and you have to learn everything about a whole new station, a whole new
Abteilung.
Abteilung is also
Ward,
German.
station.
Ward.
Yeah, you have to learn a whole new station. Today you're doing pediatric care, tomorrow you're doing geriatric care. Like learning all these things and actually internalizing them. Because when you're in that station, you actually have to know how this station runs, what is expected of you, what you need to know. Like that's been a challenge. You're really expected to know a lot. Yeah.
I think it's very similar with her, but as well in relation to this is the fact that throughout every different practical period that you have to get Bewertung.
Yeah.
What's Bewertung? You know, you have to get a review that is actually goes down officially in record, and the fact that you will get one review from this station and a totally different one from another one, and you're still the same person, and you're like,
Someone is wrong.
someone must be wrong. Like someone must be wrong. So definitely meeting different teams and them perceiving you differently, you perceiving them differently as well, and having to be the student, which means you're the one who keeps running after them to help you, to teach you more things, was definitely one of the most difficult things throughout the training.
And what was some of the challenges you faced through the practical side? In the hospitals or in those Abteilungen?
For me, the challenge in the practical part was actually that what she just said, like having to integrate into a new team every few months. I'm generally not a social person, so that was really a challenge because you have to make yourself, you have to accustom yourself to the. Okay, so when you want to integrate into a new team, the team won't take you the way you are. It's you to unfasten yourself to the team.
Suit
Fit
yourself.
You know, you have to
Yourself.
fit yourself in the way the team is. So if this is a really loud team, that would really be a challenge for me because everyone thinks I'm just quiet. I don't want to participate, but I'm generally not loud. So
And did you meet
it's hard.
people who were not like friendly to you because you're different?
Definitely, yeah. You'll find people who just see you and assume you're dumb or assume something about you, like just general stereotypes about Africans, and it's hard, but every time I feel like it's always a challenge to prove yourself.
Yeah.
But you have to actually learn that you're the one who's new in the team, so it's not up to them to take you and accommodate themselves, like accommodate you into their routines. It's for you to accommodate them.
Yeah. Or you to fit into their ways.
You know, you have to
somehow.
fit into their ways. It's not the other way around. So
Yeah.
that has definitely been a challenge, but it's also really interesting because I've met some amazing teams. I've met some amazing people.
Definitely. Yeah.
You learn a lot, and it's great. But challenges will always be there.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think we do have very similar challenges, but also in relation to meeting so many teams, I would say also meeting so many patients. Like you see from childbirth to death, literally, and I mean it's the biggest part of nursing, but the fact that you get to see that at a very young age, you get to see a child being born, you get to see an old person dying, it's as beautiful as it is, it's definitely a lot for a young mind. And I must say that and as beautiful as it was among also some of the challenges I faced throughout my practical experience, being able to process these kind of things and not taking it personally. And even though a lot of times you would take it home with you and think about it, and so gathering that experience to even getting to the point where things probably just don't affect you as much as they used to was quite hard in the practicals.
Especially the first time I had to see, like, I witnessed someone died in my shift. Like, that was really hard. That one, it hit.
I
it
don't
hit
think
home.
it stopped being hard because
Yeah.
you get used to those people, and one day they're not there.
It's true. But the first one, I can still remember the first one. It's just like, oh,
Yeah.
I was
So
shocked.
I've heard somewhere, or I've seen people asking or saying that during the hospital they don't get the opportunity to practice what they are learning in school. They are just being told go and wash, go and clean up those patients. Do you have such challenges, or do you face such issues where you just still being treated like you're in the third year or you're almost finishing, but you still have to do the dirty work for the being phlegmang? Sometimes there are not enough workers.
Well, I must say some of these things are really dependent on what institution you're at. I must say our institution did a very great job protecting us, especially for the first 1 year. We're literally not allowed to do anything on our own. You have to do everything in accompaniment of a nurse or someone who's actually allowed to give you practical advice or instruction. So our institution did do a great job, but when we did have practical phases where we had to go outside and see other institutions, is definitely a thing that as a student you can be used as just cheap labor and you'd be doing a lot of the dirty work. But I must commend my institution again, because every time things like this happen, conversations were conversations were held, and there were some changes that were made. Yeah.
So that's it's actually important. If you're looking for an house building now, a place to do your house building, just be careful where you're looking it for, because there are some places you're just going to learn in school or to do the theory part, but you'll never find an opportunity to practice it.
Yeah, it's true, and it's definitely a thing. But for us, I feel like it was really nice for us. Like when we're in our in our institution, it's really nice. But when you go out there, like you get to see the different opinions people have of Shulan
Students,
like students, and how they treat you. It's different everywhere, and also some places they don't really have that much. The spectrum of what you actually need to do is not that wide, so you kind of understand why the only work you've been given is go wash that one. Yeah.
The only thing you leave the house building with is Bluetooth and
Genau.
poles and Bluetooth.
Yeah, there's one Einsatz where I just felt like, hey, I'm a waiter.
You've learned
I'm
nothing.
a waiter here. All I do is just
Yeah.
tish decken. You just prepare the table, serve people food. After that, I felt like a waiter.
So enough of the challenges. What are you enjoying the most, because you're still doing the house building? What's one of the things that you are enjoying now the most?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely that. I also feel like as an
Nobody had that.
oh, the money. Yeah, the money is good, but I feel like what I enjoy the most is the fact that when I'm in the practical part of my Ausbildung, so many people are really ready to help out. Like, especially in our institution, people are so ready to teach you things, and you get to experience so many new things. So, for example, there's one I had an Einsatz in a home for the elderly. Seniors home.
Home of the age.
Nursing home. And they didn't really have a lot of work, so most of the times we were allowed to take like the patients who had to go for dialysis. We could take them to the praxis, and even in that praxis, like, they were so nice. They would take you, show you everything, show you the machines. You'd walk with the nurses. So I got to experience a lot of different parts of nursing that were not even included in the Ausbildung, but just because you get to go around, you get to experience a lot of different things. So I feel like I've learned. Yeah.
And Marianne, what did you enjoy? Because you're no longer enjoying the Ausbildung, you're enjoying the outcome.
I did enjoy the days when I had school and I didn't have to go to work. Not that I hated my work, but just waking up at 8, having class until 1, and then going home not tired. Definitely enjoyed the theory, and of course the support from my teachers, from also the practical purchases, as Carol says. Like, if you find good people, they really put in their effort to make you a better student, or to give you more and more information. Definitely enjoyed the cheap ticket, and yeah, so the Ausbildung, in as much as there are challenges that come with it, it definitely brings better things. One thing I have to mention is watching the Entwicklung, the development curve, from the first day you start the Ausbildung to, okay, now it's 1 year down the line, to, oh, now it's 1.5 years, and through down to 3 years. Watching that curve is definitely something that was very beautiful to me, and realizing that one day I walked into a hospital and I had never been to a hospital before, and today someone lies in a hospital and I'm responsible for their life. That watching that growth has definitely been
That's
very positive in my eyes. Yeah.
So guys, before we end up this video, I'm so proud of these two. I'm super proud, by the way, because they have done their research, they have looked for information, they have listened to other people's experience, but they decided to follow their own path and to make their own experience. You know, back in the days, there are people who used to come here, you call a few people, they tell you, hey, in Germany, if you want to stay here, you have to find a way to stay here legally, get a husband, give birth to a child, and that's it. You end up doing that, and then you don't do your own research. You end up just staying there like a cabbage. They came here, we started talking when they were still au pairs in Ephesus, but they didn't even follow the steps that I was telling them. They did their own research and they found better ways for them. See them, they are now nurses, guys. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Hey. Thank you so much. I'm super proud. If you have anything you want to ask them, description box below. She's a content creator. I'm going to drop her link, and I'm going to drop her Instagram. Follow them, yeah.